How's it going, everybody? It's Man Tomorrow here. I want to thank you guys for coming through. Make sure you hit one in the chat if you can be able to hear me. All right. All right. All right. Yesterday, I couldn't live stream. It's because I got in an accident yesterday. Obviously, I'm fine, but really took a whole lot out your boy because the day previous to that, I spent all day trying to fix this radiator at a friend of mine's shop. And 7 hours after I completely welded every hole in this radiator closed, I got in an accident and I needed yet and still a new fucking radiator. 7 hours after I spent all day fixing these problems, I had to yet and still buy a new radiator anyway. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So what happened is, all right, if you're in any mountainous area, if you're in any mountainous area and there is a snowstorm that is coming through a mountainous area, you're not supposed to drive empty trailers through mountainous areas. Why? Because the wind can literally push you off the road if you are traveling on snow, and especially if you're on ice, you just get blown off the road by a crosswind. It's very easy to happen. So, and yes, this is why they require you to have a certain amount of poundage in your actual trailer while you're actually traveling on these roads. And it says it on most of the signs before you get into the actual state. Once you're in the actual state, no matter where you come from, so that way, like all the alerts and all that kind of stuff, they let you know these things up front. So that way you don't potentially cause an accident and end up getting somebody killed. Because we know that cars don't this doesn't apply to cars. Because people in cars, we call them four wheelers, are just they have that four wheeler mentality, man. That they think that this big ass truck could just stop on a dime and all that kind of other stuff. So person was going down a hill pretty fast. And I seen what was happening before he seen what was happening. I was going slow, which is what the speed limit said that you should go during inclement weather. During inclement weather, nearly every driver's manual in each state tell you to drive at least 10 miles below the speed limit. In some states, they tell you to drive 20 miles below the speed limit. This is why during the middle of the day after the accident happened, I seen a whole bunch of trucks on the side of the road getting speeding tickets. Why they were getting speeding tickets? Because they was refusing to go the speed limit that was designated in the actual driver's manual. Because you had people who were still going like like in this state, the actual speed limit was 65 in this area. So which means, and it wasn't a secret because every sign on the road told you to go 45 miles an hour. So it wasn't a secret if you weighed over a ton tonnage how fast your vehicle would go. But this accident happened because this person was driving over the speed limit of 45 miles an hour that was posted everywhere. So I'm in the right lane going the regular speed limit, which seems to be slow for this individual. Individual honks his horn 2 times, then he comes out to the left, then he passes me a high rate of speed, and then he tries to whip back into the right lane. There's just one thing about that. His truck went into the right lane, but his trailer stayed in the left lane. So which means this dude was going into a jackknife. So he was going into a jackknife, and there was really nothing he could do but correct the jackknife. Now, when you notice that your trailer is jackknifing, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take your foot off the brake, take your foot off the gas, reestablish traction, and the actual trailer will correct itself very quickly as soon as you have traction on the road. This individual was braking. So when this individual is braking, what he was setting up to happen was for him to go into a full jackknife. And had he would have reestablished traction and I was on the other side of that trailer would have whipped around and knocked me over this bridge that we was eventually traveling. So that's what would have happened. So in order for me not to get knocked off this bridge, I had to push his trailer off the road to the left that it was naturally going to go. So once I pushed his trailer off to the side of the road, his vehicle would have been able to stop a lot faster. Because now he's braking with his truck, and the actual side of the road that his trailer was moving towards sideways would help him stop even faster. And then what I did is I centered myself between two lanes and I started stab braking until I stopped. Yeah. So that's what happened during that situation. I didn't think I hit his trailer that hard, but I knew he was empty. So it was easy to push his trailer off the side of the road. Now, if that trailer was loaded, I probably would have had that engine in my goddamn lap. But luckily, that's not the case. So that's what happened in that situation. So I laid down about 5 o'clock. I planned on waking up a lot later. I woke up like 2 or 3 in the morning, and that's how come I couldn't do the live stream yesterday. So I'm okay. Truck's okay. I just got to buy another radiator. Sometimes it links, sometimes it doesn't. I just rather put a new one in there. So let's welcome the people who are here. Name Pride Extraordinaire. That's the person who sent me the email. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Lee Bruce, what's going on? Magic Matrix, Bishop, James Sandman, Just Bob Bowman, what's going on? Nice channel. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. LOM, Jermaine Taylor, Runner Song, D1, is that HODLS Holtz? Whack a word of O, Sexy Red TV. Make sure you hit the like button, get more people in here. Because apparently people think that flagging the channel is going to stop the message. It doesn't. I don't violate YouTube's guidelines and algorithm. I don't talk about women. So there's no reason for nothing to ever happen to my channel. So let's go through this particular issue. Because it's literally the reason why we are where we are today. Nearly 100% of your problems, after you have your money together, can literally be solved by having levels of minimum standards. I had to learn this the hard way. Second time I was homeless, that's when I learned very quickly that, oh yeah, you can have a sharp and meteoric rise, but you can have a quick fall if you just do a couple things wrong. Now, I wasn't really homeless like I was the first time, but I was waiting for money to come back and I didn't have a place to stay at the time. So I was staying in a hotel for like a couple of weeks until some things canceled and I got my money back. My fault. No one else's fault but mine. Trusted the wrong people, didn't look them up how I was supposed to, and that's what happened. But you have to understand this. Any movement that you're a part of, any social movement, any social group that you are a part of, you're always going to have personnel who always want to try to sneak in through the side door or sneak in through the back door. Just like any club, any person who owns a club knows this. Most people try to come in the club through the actual smoking area. They jump the actual barricade or fence that's there. They don't want to pay the entry fee. They come in through the actual back of the club, and nobody knows who this person is. And no one ever says anything about the person actually jumping the actual fence to come in. Next thing you know, this person's in there. They've actually ordered a couple of drinks, and next thing you know, they're out of there. They owe people money. Again, no minimum standards. You cannot expect other people to have minimum standards on your behalf unless you can hold them to some level of responsibility. That's how that works. Because when I was in the military, it didn't matter what the situation was. The moment that you had no minimum standards of how people acted, you ran into so many dumb ass situations that was beyond rules. Circumstances were beyond rules. Like there was no collection of rules that you can put in place that can stop certain people from damaging others. And at some point, they just stopped asking questions. They just waited till you went over a certain Rubicon of things that happened, and then they walked in and they just destroyed you. Because it wasn't about the rules that you broke. It's the fact that the rules that we have in place ain't gonna protect from these type of people. Because we have this problem, and you see and hear this problem a lot online. And it's a very good way to build an actual platform, by the way. The only thing you have to do is act like you don't know how stuff works and pretend like you don't have any minimum standards. That's the only thing you have to do to build a platform. It's too easy. Because Team Out of Pocket have already burnt their bridges in other places. And Team Consistently Out of Pocket is going to look for new places to lie their head. Actually, hold on a second. Let me go back to those rules. The third rule is believe in not throwing people away. That's the third thing where you can easily build an audience. That's only three things you need. So now, the individuals who messed up and burned their credibility in other places go over to these no credibility zones and they get back on. Just like in the manosphere, just like in the church, just like in the military. Yeah, you can literally get kicked out of the military. You can go to the Marines or Army after you get kicked out of the Air Force. Not really that hard. Get kicked out of the Navy, you can easily go to the Marines or the Army. But at some point, your minimum standards should protect you from all these things that could potentially happen. And imagine if you had these minimum standards and the ability to not reconcile with people your entire life. How many things that you didn't have to go through your entire life if you simply had high ass standards and low ass tolerance and the ability to want to see people gone out of here. No reconciliation. Not by me, not by anybody who hangs around me, not by anybody who does business with me. Think about where this place would be at if you had those type of standards. Now, let's go beyond that. Because having no standards is only one part of the deal. One part of it. The next part of the deal of not having any standards is not really opening your mouth when things are wrong. You see, that's the silent protection portion of that. It's never opening your damn mouth when things go wrong. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if somebody would sit there and want somebody to talk ish behind your back, they will sit there quietly while people do ish to your face, yes, they will. It allows the same lack of principle to do that. Because a lot of people think that, you know what, I'm a zero out of 100. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang around these 100% people as long as they ain't got no standards. And I'm going to wait for something to fall off the turnip truck. Even if I have to disable the turnip truck itself, even if I got to throw turnips off the side of the actual turnip truck for other people to get, that's what these people are. They're parasites. They're looking for a new host. Parasites never come ask the host for permission. A lot of parasites don't even wait for the host to be in an actual position to even ask something. Parasites just take to be taken. Parasites make ultimately sure that the way that they take stuff is in such a manner to where they know that it's wrong and that there's no way you can convince them of anything otherwise. Because to them, as a parasite, they got to eat. They got to go to their next meal. I'm like, listen, sometimes feeding people is the worst thing that you can possibly do. Sometimes people got to go hungry so that way they can understand the ability to want to sacrifice. So that way you can make sure you can have many more chances at meals. Mr. G, thank you for the $20 super chat. I recommend you listen to MOG, show them that you change video. That message was well received at a pivotal point in my life. Yes. Yes. Actually, I was looking for that video the other day. I couldn't find it. But yeah, I think I did that video like 2 or 3 years ago. hmm But thanks so much for that, Mr. G. So, most of the people here who don't want to make progress or who has a consistent level of stagnations that they present to people are personnel who don't want things to change. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. And it's okay that you listen to these people. What you have to recognize is that keeping people at the bottom comfortable is a very lucrative endeavor. What's going on, Shee? We here. What's going on, referee? But that's what we have, folks. You have to learn how to throw people away in 3 different steps because you could be in a position to where you can't throw anybody away. So that's why I started the position where you don't have a lot of power, which is fine. The first way you have to learn how to throw people away is through the actual mind state and the mindset that you have, that you bring forward. The second way you throw people away is through your associations, where you get the choice to have associations. Because you can't change workplace associations. You really can't change family-based associations unless you got the productivity piece together where you can separate. You can't really do that either. And the third way you throw people away is by not connecting your finances to entertainment. Don't connect your finances to keeping up a group of losers, keeping up a whole bunch of drama, because there's two type of dramas. Because apparently a lot of people think that keeping up some type of drama is making sure that the group can't be protected. They call that drama. Oh, he always hard on these people. Yeah, yes, I am hard on these people because I got something to protect. A lot of people want this laissez-faire manosphere thing, where they can go anywhere, do anything, represent themselves to other groups of people, and then try to drag every type of movement that they're not a part of, that they don't believe in, as part of their disrespect toward the concept of the group that they think they're representing. Yes, it is a problem. It's going to continue to be a problem. However, your presence and your finances make you separate from these people. Most of this stuff is mental. A lot of it's mental. Like when people come to me try to give me the answer for somebody else's action, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. If you got a problem with XYZ person, then you should be reporting it to the authorities. Because trying to fight these battles through the actual court of public opinion, you may get some wins, but if you actually want this thing gone, you fight this thing through the court of public record. That's what a lot of these people don't understand. They don't want to fight these things the right way to get rid of them. They want to fight these problems in a certain type of format so that way the problems can stay around forever. And next thing you know this individual around to only be fighting a problem and not really solving any problems with the problem that they're fighting. Again, if you threw them away, you wouldn't have to reconcile. Do you have to reconcile trash? No. Once you throw trash in the trash can and the trash can is emptied and the actual garbage people come through and take the trash all the way to the landfill, which is not your house, do you have to worry about the same type of trash? You shouldn't have to. Ken Biggins, thanks for the 999 super chat. It's going, Doug. But that's currently where we are. You see, the moment that you start reconciling, and these people lay the eggs of reconciliation everywhere. They lay these eggs of reconciliation every single place that they go. They offend, they apologize, and then they lay the eggs for reconciliation. Like my grandfather told me about this Christian forgiveness shit. About about how you don't let people Christian forgiveness their way back into your house, back into your life, back into your circumstances, back into your finances, back into your good graces. Because a person looking for infinite reconciliation, they will continue to try you to your face, even when they know better. They go around people that they know damn they or actually they come with people that they know damn well that you don't know what this person's up to, and then they'll try to smile in your damn face. And then now you got to break the peace in order to correct this actual situation. Now the conversation went from something that happened in the private to something that happened in the public. And every time my grandfather did that from the private to the public, you find out that this individual who want to act all brand new have done the same thing to other people. And not that the people are not present. The people were present, but the people did not bring this up to leadership. They decided to reconcile with this person, to hope that they get it. My grandfather said the only thing these people are going to get is death. That's what they're going to get. That's when you finally have it. Because at your funeral, you don't get to speak for yourself. Your actions speak for you. One, your ass not being here. Two, the other people who's trying to remember you in a certain format and in a certain light. And if my grandfather didn't think that funeral should be going the way it should go, he took over the whole show. Told these parents to their face that their kids ain't shit and he's glad that they're dead. And wanted to warn everybody else that trash is to stay gone. You don't cry over trash. These people are going to keep doing this all the time, man. They're going to keep doing it. What's going on, JD Orca? What's going on, Stu? Bro, I'm pretty mild mannered compared to my grandmother on my mother's side, who's pure fucking evil. I'm pretty fucking mild mannered from my grandfather on my father's side. Pretty mild mannered. And I have zero tolerance. But those people had the ability to beat people up, to burn people with cattle prods, to actually do all types of stuff to people and get in no trouble because we lived in unincorporated Mississippi. And if you call the police, they're likely not to show up anyway. They'll probably show up the next day. What's going on, Alonzo Hall? But that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to understand that once you stop reconciling, you protect yourself. Once you stop reconciling. Like, listen, let's say you had a bad track record of letting people back in your life. The moment you have those higher standards, that's when you start that new slate, clean slate. Then you have to have enough sense to not be around these people, not to be around these environments, to actually notice all the time that you lost trying to reconcile with people, trying to reconcile with other people. Yes. And if you have a wife or a girlfriend, you have to teach the same thing to them too, about not reconciling, about holding that standard. Because there's a lot of people who know I wouldn't mess with them, but somehow they calling my wife about shit that they know I would not allow. Yeah. They'll try to come over there with somebody else that they know I like, and then they'll just pop up out of nowhere, trying to test and see if I won't chop their head off in front of everybody else. My grandfather said, "Look, public fuck up, public fix the fuck up. You don't do shit in silence. You do things in silence. It's almost like it never happened because that person's presence is actually showing you that they have not learned anything, and they're actually trying to actually put you to the test. You and your standards." It's all right. That's why you gotta leave them there, man. Leave them out there. Leave them out there. Leave them out there. Reconciliation should be your lowest priority. If that person want to reconcile, they'll reconcile with their actions. Don't reconcile with your mouth. Don't tell me how much you changed. I don't want to hear any of that shit. I'm not gonna take a chance on you anymore. I don't care what you accomplish. I don't care how many lotteries you win. I don't care how good things go. I am not reconciling with you because I don't want to put myself at risk. And there has to be some type of punishment. I don't believe in happily ever after. I believe that you changed. Don't tell me about it. Stay away from me. That's how I want it. That's how I want it. But see, once you start laying down these laws and rules, once you start laying down these laws and rules, there's two groups of people who's going to come to the defense of this sorry ass individual. One is going to be the women who is entertained by such presence of individual and who's willing to look over the track record and the history of such individual for the name and the sake of entertainment. Now, for a whole lot of these women in society, they are not going to be able to lay down any rules because that's not their job. Especially when they have endless choice. One man with standards is not going to stop their show. They're going to find somebody else to replace your ass with. They've already done it with the black family. So it shouldn't be a problem for them to find another compromised dude who just want to be around women who want to jest and max. Not a problem. The second type of individual is the individual called the Bravo Alpha November. The type of individual who don't like any type of standards around because it take their fun away. It take their identity away. Like having standards take away their identity of being a Bravo Alpha November. They don't want to act like a man. They don't want to produce like a man. They don't want to uphold any standards. They don't want to look out for other people. But these people want the protection of the entire group. What's going on, Shonda? What's going on, Doug? Life of the $5 super chat. I realize you can't save people. They have to want to love how MOT is affirmed and it's not your responsibility. Yeah. Once you say, look, this is not my responsibility and I can no longer help you with this issue, you got to help yourself with this issue. I'm not a trained professional, but I am trained enough to know I'm not going to be able to help this individual with this. You have to be that firm with it. When you're that firm with it, you know what they do? They find somebody else to go to. And they always will find somebody else to go to. But that's only one half of the story. The second half of the story is now that I've purged this individual out of my life, do not bring your ass up to me and tell me about the problems that are going on with in your life with the same type of individual that I've moved out of my life. That's the second half. When I say I want this person gone, I want them gone. The fuck out of here. And I don't want to hear this shit from anyone else going through the same thing that I've already kicked this problem out of my life with. When I say no reconcile, that means no reconcile. I will find other people to deal with. I will find other people to move with. I will replace you. I will insource. I will outsource. I will go anywhere on the planet to get the hell away from these problems. And I'm going to keep them gone. The problem is that when you're around a bunch of these 50-50 ass dudes, the dudes who accept all type of compromise, and because they ain't got their life together and straight, they actually want you to bear the brunt of when things go wrong because that's their lifestyle too. It's called Wackaroto. It's called Sebastian Williams. If you don't understand it, it's time for you to get it. Your whole life is based on replacing people, replacing broken things with things that work. I'm in the transportation industry. I drive a rapidly deteriorating and 100 different points of inspection a truck that fails consistently that I have to check every single day. Every single day I have to create a pre-trip inspection, a federal document that is to be signed that I say that everything on this thing works. So that way, if I end up getting in an accident like I did yesterday, they ask me, give me a logbook. Did you perform a pre-trip inspection? Okay, that's what they're looking for. Bill of lading. What's on here? That's how you got to be. You got to be that firm with knowing that you're not about to put up with these problems, and also knowing that you're not about to deal with anybody else who accept these type of problems as normal. I know what you're saying. MOT. If I did that, I ain't gonna have no friends. Yeah, that's the goddamn point. Not to have any friends. Would you rather have things work right 100% of the time by yourself, or would you have a bunch of friends where nothing works? You got to make this decision yourself. I made it when I woke up today. Bam, I'm here. Still ain't having no standards. Still not accepting these dudes at all, period. Let's get to moving. Things are going to go right today because I'm involved with it. And if they don't, I'm going to find a way to fix it so that way it goes right in the future. Imagine if most of these parents, before they had a kid, was thinking like that before they got into a situation where they conceived these actual kids in the first place, asking for everybody's help raising them. Most of these problems wouldn't even be here, but they are here, and we have to deal with them, and we have to correct them. What's going on, Jaquan? You have to understand a lack of minimum standards will permeate every single group that you're a part of. And you're going to notice how things work before, and you're going to have to notice how things works after. And you're going to have to recall things wasn't like this before. Look at how bad things are now. Look at this laissez-faire, super liberal nonsense that is going on right now. Things were so much better when less people had a voice. Things were so much better when people were moving in silence. Things were so much better when I didn't have to come here and reconcile with people that I don't know. The people who are asking for reconciliation and forgiveness are the problem. Consistently have been the problem. If you was pulling your own weight, why would you need reconciliation? Worse than wanting reconciliation, you're forcing me to reconcile with you by having your ass in front of my face after you've done something to me that's wrong. Not only are you not asking for reconciliation, you assume that you have it by being in front of my face. America does not like you punishing its assholes. America does not like you punishing its assholes. They rather asshole go free, cause all types of problems, than one person rectify the problem. You better believe it. This is why you got to put distance between yourself and these actual people. Now, that doesn't stop people from trying to make you a victim of a crime, even outside of all that. You're moving in a certain way. But you have to recognize that you got to stop reconciling people. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. It doesn't work at all. It doesn't work as well as reconciliation. Like, that's when you judge it. Like, if we would have left these problematic people behind who just want to come online and complain about women, if we made the manosphere a place to where we're going to separate from people who got child support issues, we're going to separate from people who still believe in this gang bullshit. We're going to separate from people who don't know how to act on panels. We're going to separate from people who just cannot seem to comport themselves like a human being. We're going to separate from people who don't have any answers. We're going to separate from people who don't understand history. We're going to separate from all those people. What happens then? If you set the standard, which is not a higher standard at all, you got to want to be around the stuff that you're fighting for. You are the first test case of what you're trying to produce or what you're trying to see in an infinite basis. You are the first test case. You've always been the first test case. This is why it never really made any sense for broke ass dudes to be talking about this community stuff. This is why it doesn't make any sense for women to talk about the community stuff. Your community is your household. What's going on in your house that you want to spread to other households? But, like I said, you want to sell this idea, this myth of infinite forgiveness? You don't want to hold anybody to any minimum type of standards? And you don't believe in throwing people away? You are consistently going to be outran by people who want to sell this myth of infinite forgiveness. Infinite forgiveness. They don't want to actually give anything, but they expect infinite forgiveness. But the problem is that you become too harsh, you become too militant, you become too intolerant when you set these standards up like this. So what they do is they try to wear you down with numbers. You ain't gonna wear me down. No, no, sir. No, ma'am. You gonna wear me down with a better argument, with better results. That's how you wear me down. You're not gonna wear me down and overwhelm me with numbers of bullshit. You're never gonna be able to wear me down with that. I could just sidestep that. I don't care if it's two people in this chat. Two is way more than 200 people that I can't know, I can't verify, I can't even see what they're doing. Like, come on, man. We know as soon as the numbers go too high, the message and everything get corrupted based off of not reconciling and not having any type of belief that you can move without these people. It's like the people talking about the community stuff are the people who are the problem within the community. They have taken up positions behind the community that they don't have anything to actually give to. They have nothing to donate to the cause. These are the napkin and water dudes who come to the barbecue, bringing all these paper plates and forks and spoons and shit. We already got that covered. You don't think you're about to eat this steak? I even brought this bullshit out here, do you? But see, they put you in a position for somebody else's infinite forgiveness to take hold. And that sabotages the entire group. What's going on, BK? I can't see you in the chat for some reason. What's going on? Hey, listen. If you could tell your brother to go to hell, you could tell your sister to go to hell, you could tell your mother and father to go to hell, you could tell anybody to go to hell. Period. I don't care. I ain't put myself in no risk for nobody. Oh, well, XYZ need to be bailed out. Shit. You know what? He'll be there till you get out. Exactly how that's going to go. And that's why they can't corrupt SYSBM, Red Lord. That's why they can't corrupt it. Because it's an outcome based thing and it's about how you move. And it's not a Maggle redo zone. No, it's not a Maggle spawn point where dudes who ain't got no sense can come back and just come back in. That's not how that works. I'm for the male agency piece no matter how it is. I put the best arguments out there and I got the best behavior behind the arguments out there and not let that be the standard. Not the other people who want to be consistently out of pocket. Don't make me do not make me speak for those people. But you may ask yourself, when do you have fun? Dude, life is always fun when you ain't got to put up with nonsense. You don't have to endure life, you could just live it. You're still going to come across problems that you're not going to be able to solve, things that are out of your control, but at least you can go in with a clear head upon handling these things. Think about how much of these issues we would not have if everybody had the same level of investment. That's what a community is about. Same level of investment. I'm not trying to see the best out of people who don't know how to act. That's not a level of investment. That's a level of usury at the expense of other people. That's right. That's right. You got to be able to understand that you don't need these problems around. They need you to have less standards. Yeah, Dr. David Deacon literally right. Really, that's why SBM move in silence and visual results. I'm gonna have this conversation for Passport Bros this Saturday. So that way, everybody who's over there with that guy and wanted to vicariously live through that guy, you can take your ass over there. But everybody else who want to move in silence and enjoy this actual freedom that we got to separate from these dudes. Because they trying to mess it up for everybody, like they messed up everything else for everybody. Hmm. But that's why y'all gotta understand, man. Stop reconciling with these people. Dude, this brothers I haven't talked to in a while since my dad's funeral. Never thought about reconciling with these dudes. Listen, we meet in another place. That's cool, but I'm not gonna reconcile with you. Yeah, when you can prove that you can move just fine without them, they change themselves. That's when they change their actions. They change their actions when they ain't got nobody else to go to. They have to survive on their own. And they realize there is not going to be a do over for them. They're not going to be able to run to somebody else for protection. That's when these things change. Guess what happens when things don't change? They just move over to somebody else and they do the same damn thing. I really don't care what they are, man. It's just that, hey, man, look, go formulate your own movement. Stop trying to just hijack somebody else's stuff. I mean, that's just some real hoe shit. Every time you go around, there's another person getting behind a hashtag that was never around until it became popular. None of these people were here 5 years ago when Yes Jonas was doing his content with 13 people in the chat. They just wasn't here. They was not around here. He was putting out them books and nobody was buying them. All the information that I'm talking about now, pretty much, still pretty good books. YesJonas.com. I'm telling you, those are some pretty good books. And he wrote those books after he had his shit together and kept it that way. That's why the no reconciliation piece works. It does work. It works a lot. The actual benefit is immediate. You've decided yourself that you're not going to do this stuff anymore under no circumstances. The benefit is immediate. Because a lot of people just came online to be completely out of pocket that they couldn't actually exhibit in their real life. That's what it is. They want to turn the whole anything into a fun house, into a fun zone. They want to spend serious time on bullshit, but don't want to take anything serious. Serious time you want to waste here. When you can learn a lot from so many different professionals in this actual space. Next to nearly no questions get asked to the professionals. A lot of these people want the title. They're not going to put that work in. They're not going to put that work in. What's going on, Rod Spice? Tell you, man, it's the skeleton key to happiness. Having higher standards. The other skeleton key to happiness is having your own money and having your own surroundings where you ain't got to ask people for shit. Where you can get yourself a modest vehicle and keep it moving. You ain't got to impress parking lots. You can have modest clothing and keep it moving. You ain't got to go around with Gucci belts and all this dumbass shit trying to impress these people in the parking lot that you don't know. And not reconciling, not bringing that stuff back in. Your girlfriend or your spouse got to be on the same shit. But that is where we are, folks. That's been where we was. These people didn't come here for anything else other than that. These people came here for the express intent of holding everybody else back. They came here, scroll checking for you. They came here exactly for holding everybody else back. They came in here to see how many people they can corrupt, how many people they can actually disturb, how many people they can actually destroy, and drag this stuff behind. That's what they came here to do. That's what they came here to do. But that has nothing to do with your actual overall thing that you can actually exhibit yourself. You don't need these people like that. Only thing you got to need is a plan and go forward with it. But you also got to have enough sense to not have like 65,000 kids and you got to feel the brunt of no matter how much work you put in, your ass is not going to go anywhere. That has nothing to do with anybody else. It still has a lot with you setting it up. That's why I say, look, man, I'd rather work with incels than reptiles at this point. No, sir. Yeah, man, the scales are already in, your eyes are already there, your teeth are already serrated to sharpen points, and I can't deal with you. You got no sense. No sense of honor. None. But when you're willing to do that, nobody wants to have you around. Like I said, it's brought up earlier. Somebody said it in the chat earlier. The people who you're going to have to exhibit these things around first is your immediate family. Sometimes your wife. Sometimes your own kids. Those got to be the first people who know that you ain't to be tried like that no more. But then again, you got to stick to it. I tell you right now, these people have a different tune once they skip a couple of meals. Yeah, have them skip a couple of meals. Yeah. No, you ain't got to worry about these people. You guys have got to reconcile, man. Reconcile the fact that it's over. It's time to focus on you. Yeah, but that's where we at. That's where we are. You got to make this stuff seem effortless, folks, because these people are going to test you like barbarians at the gate every time. They're going to keep trying to test you. They're going to keep trying to test your resolve. They're going to keep doing it every time. They're going to keep trying to test your resolve every single time. They are never going to stop testing you. They're never going to stop. They're never going to stop. They can't. Their whole survival is based on outsourcing basic responsibilities to you. That's what they want to do. They want to outsource all basic responsibilities for their problems off to you. And yes, they know better. Don't tell me that they don't. They know better. They know better. They know better. They've always known better. But the problem is, they always checking for those people who don't get life. They always checking. They always checking. They always checking with the wife, with the cousin, with the whoever. They're always checking. They are always checking. But you can't be worried about these people. Having your stuff together means that's when you can stop worrying about other people. Think about it. What happens when these people get their stuff together? What happens when these people are able to live through a level of compromise? Don't they leave you alone? Don't they disappear off the scene? These people disappear off the scene the moment that they don't need anybody else. And here's the thing, you can do the same thing, except you can do the same thing with all your money left. You can do the same thing with all your money left. You ain't got to do this stuff broke. You can do this stuff right now. You can do this stuff right now. Get your stuff together right now. You can not make things worse right now. You ain't got to wait. There's nothing to wait on. There is nothing to wait on at all. Go and get these results. You ain't got to tell nobody about what you're doing. You can just take your ass out there and just go do it. You ain't got to have live streams trying to show people what you're doing, where you're going, how much fun you're having, bro. You ain't got to worry about none of that. None of that. You ain't got to do none of that. That's what you do. The moment you move your ass far away, you think these people going to take their precious PTO time and take that time off and come chase your ass halfway across the country to see you winning? They ain't going to do that shit. That's why you got to move away from these places, man. You got to move away from these places where these people are losing in large numbers. Yeah, make them risk something to come out there and come see you. You got to realize, man, that you are so far forward, not even having experience with this stuff that these people claim that they know about. You are so far ahead by not even having experience. How do you win by not having experience? By something everybody claim they winning with. It's crazy, but it's happening. And here's the thing. The moment that you have a level of independence and you don't need these people's help, the first thing they're going to try to do is try to drag your ass right back into that place where you're codependent upon them. They can't wait to do it. They can't wait to do it. They're trying to drag you all the way back to the first beginning of the stage because they haven't got their stuff together or right. They're trying to show you how much they winning by dragging your ass off into a situation that you ain't supposed to be in. And they're going to keep doing it. They ain't got no other choice. What other choice do they have? These people ain't got no other choice. They're waiting on other people to lose with them. Yeah, man, like, I don't believe in that community shit, man. That community shit is over and done with. Anybody trying to resurrect this shit should be destroyed. I'd be damned if I spend my whole life correcting all these other people's issues. Yeah, they talk a whole bunch of mad shit while your ass ain't around. Man, nobody care about that shit. Get them out of here. And keep them out your life, man. Because the moment that you show back up and you actually need their actual validation and verification, they're going to make fun of your ass to the hilt that you left and you came back and you became friends with them. They're never going to let you not hear from them. That's what it's always about, man. Stop reconciling with people, bruh. Reconciling is for fools. It's for clowns. Don't reconcile anything. No. You let them prove that they're worth it. You just don't give these people chances that they're not worth. Let them prove it. But that's where we at, folks. Dude, not reconciling has been one of the biggest and greatest things that I've ever done. Never reconciling with these people. Hey, man, listen. You reconcile with your track record. You show me that what you intend to create with your track record. Man, they ain't got time to be reconciling with these damn people. Especially when I know that they don't get it. They won't get it. They're not trying to get it. What do I care about people failing? If it's not affecting them, why should it affect me? Now I'm at the back of this trailer. I gotta get the hell up out of here. It's getting loud back here. So I want to thank you guys for coming through on the Man Tomorrow. Make sure you like the video upon getting up out of here. You guys have a really nice rest of y'all day. I spend my time out here to show you guys how to get better results. So I want to thank you guys for coming through. Y'all have a nice one. Peace.